You don't need motivation. You need something else that is much more important than motivation. And it's going to get you from where you are to wherever it is that you want to go in all areas of your life. And I'm going to explain exactly what that is. My name is Helia. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time, welcome. Please subscribe so you can see more of these similar videos. What I'm going to share with you is based on teachings of Bob Proctor. If you know of Bob, you know how such a legend he was. If you don't know of Bob Proctor, he was the best teacher on human potential and success. He has changed millions of lives. He has helped people to turn their annual income, what they make in 1 year, to turn it into monthly income, earn the same amount of money in 1 month instead. He's been in the movie The Secret. So what I'm going to share is not my own knowledge, is not something that I made up. It is based on teachings of Bob Proctor, which goes all the way back to teachings of Earl Nightingale, Napoleon Hill, and all the other amazing teachers. So there are many, many years and wisdom behind what I'm going to share with you. And I want you to keep an open mind, an open heart, because what happens is that sometimes if we hear an idea that is contrary to what we used to believe, our ego immediately rejects that. And unfortunately, we get stuck in life. So maybe grab a pen and paper, but definitely keep an open mind and open heart. The reason I'm recording this video is one of my Instagram followers, someone messaged me on Instagram and said, he left me a voice message saying that I love what you do, motivational, it's great, good job, but we have to be realistic. Okay. And there are a lot of people struggling. I talk to people all the time. This is the voice note I received. And there is a lot of struggle and people are having a hard time. No one has money. And I like what you do, but if motivation is great, but we have to be realistic. So first of all, I told this gentleman, I appreciate your message because that tells me what other people are thinking. And that gives me the opportunity to create more clear content and explain things better. So hopefully I can help him and everyone else who thinks the same. And I'm sure there are a lot of people who think the same. I can say almost everyone. Bob Proctor said 97%. Hopefully it is less than that, but somewhere along that percentage, high percentage of people think like that. And I used to think like that, honestly, up until very recently. What is that kind of thinking? And what is wrong with that? And how do we want to replace that? And how 1 to 3% most successful people in the world think. What Bob Proctor teaches and what I've been teaching on my social media platforms for the last 3 to 4 years, it has nothing to do with motivational speech. I am not a motivational speaker. I'm not a motivational coach. What I learned from Bob and my other mentors is not about feel happy, high vibe. It's not about that. It is a way of thinking. It is a way of living. It is a different way, higher level of understanding and consciousness and awareness. So what we lack in life is not motivation. It is a lack of awareness, consciousness, understanding. Bob Proctor had a higher level of consciousness. Successful people have a different level of awareness, understanding, thinking. The way they see, they look at the world is different from average people. They really understand. What do they understand? They understand human nature. They understand the truth of life. We would be so wrong, and it is just so ridiculous if we think the truth of this world, the truth of life, is what we experience with our 5 senses. What we hear, smell, taste, and touch is only a small, very small, I'm not going to say the percentage because that's going to scare you off. It's a very small percentage of the reality. Our five senses sometimes is even more, much more limited than some animals. So how do we rely on our five senses deciding what the truth is? I am looking at my bank account and that's the truth. I am looking at people don't have money, that's the truth. Just because something is real and you're experiencing it with your five senses, you're hearing people saying they don't have money, it's real. Sure, it's happening. I'm not saying it's not happening. It is happening in the present moment, but it is not the truth of life. It is not the truth of potential. It is not the whole picture. It's a very small percentage of the picture. Why do I say that? Think about even in today's day, or think about a time when Bob Proctor was growing up, was World War II, lots of poverty all around the world. There were still people, at that time, there were still people who were making millions of dollars. And sometimes we think those people are lucky. There's no such thing as luck. When we don't understand something, we say it's lucky, or he's lucky, or she's lucky. It's because we don't understand beyond our five senses. We just look at the surface. We just look at the result people are getting. There are a lot of people who are thriving in this economy and in any economy. A lot of those people, they don't even have high degree of education. A lot of those people, most of them, majority of them, they don't come from a rich family, rich background. They didn't have any business owner in their family, like Bob Proctor, like my mentor. So what Bob taught for over 60 something years and what I teach is a different way of living. It's not motivation. It is a different way of thinking. You know what it is like? It is like living your whole life in a small village in Middle East, and then after 30, 40, 50 years moving to New York City. Huge different way of living. So what I share might be something that you've never heard before, or you don't understand the depth of it, so you think it is just motivation. Einstein said logic gets you from A to B. Einstein. We think as Einstein, I would think of him as someone very logical, a scientist, logical, facts, thinking about facts. He said logic gets you from A to B, but imagination takes you everywhere. We have higher mental faculties. We teach that in Bob Proctor's program that I offer. By the way, I'm starting a new group as of September 1st. If you're watching this prior to September 1st, 2025, you still have time to take advantage of this group. It is called Fulfilled Life Formula. I'm going to teach you Bob Proctor 6 months program, take you through the program and absolutely change your entire life. If you want to improve your finances, your business, your career, if you're an employee, you want to start a business, if you want to expand your business, if you want to improve your relationships, if you want to improve your overall sense of fulfillment and happiness, you should take advantage of this. So either comment below or message me. We're going to start on September 1st. So Bob Proctor, in his program that I'm going to teach, he taught us and everyone else, there are 6 higher mental faculties that we have. So we have our 5 senses, hear, smell, see, taste, touch, and we have 6 higher mental faculties that no one has taught us. Our parents didn't know about it. School system doesn't teach these things. And these are the tools that we all have. Some of us, some people, either consciously or unconsciously have developed these tools that we have, mental tools. It's like our muscle, mental muscle. They have developed those tools and they use it and they change their life. But if you don't know what those are, and if you don't change your life, you are going to be forever like this gentleman who messaged me. For the rest of your life, you are going to be living in same lifestyle. And it might be a great lifestyle, but we can always do better if you don't learn the higher mental faculties. And if you just rely on your five senses and what you hear and what you see and what the reality is, what the news says, what the people say, what the economists say, everything you see in your physical life, if you only rely on that, your life is never gonna change. You have to learn what are these six higher mental faculties and how to use them to absolutely change your life. One of these higher mental faculties is our imagination. Again, Einstein said, logic gets you from A to B, imagination takes you everywhere. So, you, my friend, whoever is watching, you don't need motivation, you need a new level of understanding. What I want you to do from now on, every day, and it requires practice like everything else. Like the very first time you learned how to drive, it took a while, it was uncomfortable, it didn't come naturally. Now you can drive and talk and eat and smoke a cigarette or whatever you do, and it's so easy after many years. And this requires some discipline. So actually discipline is something that you need, not motivation. You need to start disciplining your thoughts. As of right now, the moment any limiting or negative thoughts come to your mind, like the economy is not good, people don't have money, there's no one to buy my product, it's so tough, I don't care even if it is real. Remember, logic, we don't want to be just logical. You're not going to get anywhere if you're just relying on your logic. So the minute any thought, negative thought, limiting thought, even though if it's true, come to your mind, you say reject. And what do you replace it with? Because you have to replace it with something. There's no such a thing as canceling something. You have to replace it with something, because otherwise it's going to be automatically replaced with some negative thought. You're going to replace it with the thoughts of what do you want? You're going to use your imagination. You're going to become a little bit less logical. Let's become a little bit less logical. Where have your logic taken you so far? Wherever you are in your life, even if it is great, again, we can always do better. If you are just being logical and you don't understand what I'm sharing with you, you're going to keep experiencing a similar lifestyle year after year, after decades and after decades. Even if you change your job, you change relationships, you move countries, you can't just rely on the logic in your mind. So anytime a limiting thought comes to your mind, you say reject and you start focusing on what you want instead, and start really marinating those thoughts and thinking, how would I feel if I had my lifestyle? How would I feel? And this requires some thinking. First of all, what is it that you really want? What is it that you want to manifest? What kind of lifestyle would you love to have? What kind of life, what kind of environment, what kind of house, what kind of vacations, what kind of business, what kind of partner? You need to do some thinking in that area, and then really, really becoming disciplined with your thinking. Don't let just reality consume your mind, be like a free tenant in your head all day, every day. Think about what you do want instead. Where focus goes, energy flows. Whatever you think most of the time eventually will become the reality of your life. And of course, there is so much more into manifestation. By no means I'm saying just think about what you want and imagine it and it will happen, poof. It's not like that. That's why we have six higher mental faculties, not just one. I only shared one of those, which is imagination. And that's why I'm inviting you to take my program. And I'm starting September 1st, but I am always onboarding new clients. So anytime you're watching this, just for you, if you're new here, I'm a licensed coach by Bob Proctor, and I teach Bob's program. Anytime you're watching this video, whatever time it is, whatever year it is, contact me if you are serious. about changing your life. If you're sick and tired of living the same lifestyle, let me know. And it is my mission, it's my life purpose to help as many people as possible. Hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up if you did, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Have a great day. Bye now.